thoughts on G2A and the controversy with Tiny Builds?
So, G2A is a secondhand site that allows you to buy Steam keys for games. Generally sold as kind of like a used thing that haven't been used, and you can get them for a much lower price. The problem with G2A that has arisen lately is the fact that it's really bad for developers and publishers, and they lose money on it. And how they do that is this. Keys are generally bought. There could be the legitimate user who, say, has a Humble Bundle, okay? And doesn't need one of the games that they have, so they get rid of the key. That key gets resold for a cheaper price. That key ends up in someone else's hand. Fine, whatever. That's still profit off of something that someone else got for free. But that's, in general, how this is supposed to work. However, a lot of these keys are bought using either stolen credit cards or credit cards that are then hit with chargebacks. But these keys are still sold to G2A. You can't authenticate a key necessarily from their end, because if they do, then that redeems the game. So what they do is they sell these keys and...
sort of sight unseen,
and they sell these keys, and what happens is the developer / publisher of the game is not seeing money from these keys because the majority, many of them are being bought using stolen or chargebacks, and they sell them. And then on top of that, to make it kind of shadier, is when you buy these keys, you run the risk of getting a key that doesn't work. So they have an insurance policy that you can buy into that ensures that you get a working key if your key does not. So we're talking about a lot of scummy shit happening on the internet
GTA
lately.
builds a marketplace.
G2A builds a marketplace
that allows
yes.
people to basically steal codes, either by having by fake credit card, or someone stealing someone's credit card and buying these, or selling a bunch and charging back. So GTA has their money, or has these keys.
Right.
But then on top of that, someone comes in and buys a key that might be useless from GTA. So GTA gets their money, but then has a sleazy insurance policy in place that you can buy our insurance to insure us from selling you shit. That's basically what they're saying.
Yes.
Brilliant. GTA, that is brilliant.
G2A.
G2A.
So
GTA,
there's really not a whole lot to say. My thoughts on it is Tiny Build's 100% in the right, and G2A is a fucking scum shit
Wow,
site.
how do they get away with that?
Yeah, it's gross, and I would recommend not supporting something like G2A at all. How these things work in the back definitely is not how they make them look up front. They make it look very professional, but what you are doing in one way or another is, this isn't like emulation, right? Anymore, where you're downloading and playing a game that the rights to have been lost to forever, and or buying a used game where no one, like you're buying a used NES game, no one's losing money on that anymore. You are actually taking money out of the pockets of developers and publishers in the event of trying to save a buck or two.
Which is why Tiny Build, one of these companies, are pissed off.
Yes. And there are ways to legitimately get your deals. And I've always said, by all means, get your deals. Just get your deals in a way that isn't shady as fuck. Use your Humble Bundles. Make use of these sorts of things. But G2A is not the way to do it. And it's definitely a shady sort of service.
So Tiny Build, the CEO, came out and basically highlighted what was wrong with this, selling unauthorized keys. He said that G2A sold the equivalent of 450,000 in copies of Speedrunners, Punch Club, and Party Hard, which I guess are 3 Tiny Build games.
Yeah. Punch Club's really good.
On the G2A marketplace, those 26,000 unit sales actually made only 200,000. So there's some shrinkage there, I guess, of bad keys and things of that nature.
Right.
Which is not good. Because like you said, the original, the actual game publisher is losing out.
Yes.
On money. And consumers might be getting screwed on the other end.
Right.
It's just kind of a weird marketplace. Ugh.